let's go My Hero because it's not. It's okay. In no way, shape, or form is it a bad chapter. But there are things about this chapter I am not the biggest fan of.
I remember, yeah.
So, first of all, beautiful color 2-page spread.
It's steampunk, man.
So good. Love it. Looks fantastic.
Looks
to be
so
honest, if they did, like a dimension cross thing, I'd love to see this.
Well, like, have you ever seen the art when he does it with like as
knights and stuff? Yeah, it's all. I'd love to see. Okay. Here we go. Sorry, I apologize. I'm about to get really off topic on this, but I love this. So, do My Hero Academia like universe crossover thing where you get like a being that's so evil, it's like an interdimensional threat, and they have to interact with themselves from all of these different timelines, where the quirk is like just slightly different.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like Bakugo's like explosive is like his axe or something like that. Like, because in that, I think he looks like a beast hunter in like the Knight's World or whatever. Because he didn't have a sword. Yeah.
Or something like that, for example. So I think that'd be super cool. Then you can just kind of integrate all of them. You don't really need to world build. You can kind of just have fun with it. Maybe they interact with like the Knights one or this steampunk one more in particular, because clearly a lot of the design work's already been done for these characters, and you don't have to work too crazy. But it'd be, dude. Sorry, I'm already thinking. So for this universe, the school is on top of like something that either flies or is walking across the planet or something, and they're like a secret ops school, so they go in and they deal more with like mafia crime and crazy things like that, but not and some of these guys have like powers too. So it won't be like exactly the same school thing. Anyways, I'm getting way too off topic, sorry.
Just quick, I mean, going with the spread and the steampunk, like I just love the little touches of like where like Endeavor and Todoroki, like they have like, looks like they have canisters, like they could do their flames. So
interesting. Yeah, okay.
That could definitely be their power. Or like, you can't really tell by Hawks, but I could assume like, oh, those are probably like fake wings, like Da Vinci's or something like that.
Exactly. Oh, and yeah, like Tokoyami, doesn't he have he's not a bird, he has a bird?
Oh, it could be that, yeah.
Is that supposed to be him? Maybe that's not supposed to be him. Oh, is this supposed to be Dabi? Oh, it is. I thought it was just like a beak, and then I zoomed in, and I'm like, no. And then yeah, Shigaraki's in the back there. Interesting. I wish we could see Ida's feet, because then he'd probably have like steampunk boots, because he's kind of. But you know what I never realized? Actually, Ida's helmet is supposed to be kind of like the Flash. It's supposed to be like the wingtips.
Oh yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, you're right.
I see that more now because of that hat, and I think of Jay Garrick's helmet.
Oh yeah, but like the engine pistons you can see on the side of his belt with Ida. So there's that. So that'd be a pretty cool concept, or like just a fun chapter. Multiple My Hero universes, like I mean, for all we know, this could exist, right? But
exactly, you're welcome, Viz Media. Feel free to steal that idea. Just
exactly.
Just maybe a shout out in the credits would be nice. Anyway, sorry, I went off. So
chapter 293, Hero, Sanctioned Society. Oh man, it's good to hear. It's good to see Lemillion.
Yeah, it was a nice reveal at the end of last week's chapter, and I think it was pretty obvious how his powers came back. But
yeah,
I guess they gave Deku, he's shocked. It's in the moment. How did you get your powers back? Well, there's obviously only one way that he could have gotten his powers back, and that's in the very first panel, which is, Ares back, which was great.
And I think it was such a man, just reading a little like flashback with Lemillion and then him asking for her help is like it was like touching, and like that was just so good. It was just so good.
Well, I think the real highlight of that is how Aerie is a completely different person, and it's only been a few months, right? You can see, he definitely went for this very happy, newfound child kind of look, right? Because she's got the big, bright, super, like fits the profile of anime eyes, and then right away you see as well, just from what she says, this is what I've been training for, right? So she's no
Yeah,
longer afraid of her powers. She's
I mean,
embracing them. She's happy. She's no longer sad. It's the exact opposite of what was going on
that
with
that
overhaul.
sequence I'm like I really enjoy with him. Like he's asking for help, and he's like he bowed down, well, like while sitting, and like she looks at Eraserhead, and he just like just nods like yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, do your
and
thing.
yeah, and then like she goes up to him with like their little hands. Don't be sorry, like that's why I'm training. Like it's such a touching and like man, she's even tearing up.
Yeah, little
So
little sister saves the big brother. Now it's like my turn
yeah,
to help you. Love it.
exactly.
It
So
was great.
it was really like it was I definitely agree. It was great. It was touching. It was just I mean we knew obviously because we knew her power, what she can do. So it only makes sense. But that's why she was training. But just to like see it like out there, it was really enjoyable. We'll go continuing on to the chapter him against the Nomus.
Well, what do you mean him against the gnomes? He
Well,
gets
like
there and he's literally just like couldn't do anything, and he's just like, "Somebody help me!" I literally sat there. Are you kidding me? You don't
yeah,
have a new killer move that you've been dying to test out, and you've been
heck
sitting
no.
there for months thinking about it, and then you're going to apply it right here, right now, on the spot. Get out of here! Come on, Hey guys, I'm here, but I'm completely useless. By the way.
But
uh,
man, the guy that comes to the rescue, I was not expecting. Mm, mm.
well, to be honest, this is kind of, I guess, the issue that I maybe have a little bit with this chapter is almost the somewhat forced inclusion of Bakugo and Deku.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel they don't need to be in this chapter. Deku at the beginning, okay, because he's asking the question, but Bakugo, he's on death's door. I get it. Plus Ultra all the
I
way.
mean,
But this
I mean,
this
and he's
guy
like,
literally got stabbed in his stomach by 4 or 5 different
don't
things.
worry about it. He exploded his like internal
Yeah,
things.
he
He'll be fine.
yeah, he cauterized his wounds with
Yeah,
explosions. Get
and like
out of
he's like,
here.
man, but I think I disagree because I think their inclusion, their growth that you see in this chapter, that they're still pushing on. Where I thought also like a few chapters ago, like man, these guys are like they're done. They could just chill,
But they
but they're
should be,
still.
and you're
But
taking away from the other characters a little bit because these guys are still coming in here.
well, I don't think so because like the dire circumstances is just like increasing regardless. Like the high end nomus are coming. Yeah, best genius came, but like there's still this, and then okay, now I'm in a million, but like there's still stuff you gotta take care of. Like the fight isn't over, even if like two heroes are down for the count, especially the two main characters, so to speak.
Uh,
Um, but going back to the panel where like you see Bakugo, I think like the whole art in this chapter, I think it was like he fucking like he excuse my language, he killed it. Like oh my god, just
yeah,
you
it's another level. I would agree with that. It's not that again, not that the work's ever bad,
no.
but I agree with you, and
And it's not
I'm
just him either. It's like this girl and Ida coming out, like just a huge array of blasts and just force.
yeah, and even the nod to the comics still with like the boom and stuff like that. Yeah, I
Mhm,
gotcha, I gotcha. The before we kind of push on, the one thing I do want to, I guess, give props to is I like that Bakugo's saving Deku moment is where the growth happened. There's
mhm,
clearly supposed to be an obvious relation there, right? Because Deku was always using Bakugo in order to get stronger, right? He based his movements off of him, right? So that's
yeah,
really cool, and I like that right here. We see, to be honest, he almost kind of stole the idea, if you think about it, of Deku's like finger blasts, but did it with his own explosions.
yeah,
They're
to
just
launch
like
himself.
precise, yeah. There's just
Mhm,
precise little explosions, right? So that was kind of cool, and I liked how we're now seeing that development to counter Deku's. It's good. It's necessary too because
yeah,
this is his Sasuke, so he's got to
yeah,
be on this level.
yeah, and also it's good to see. I always forget her name. Nirujo, the girl,
Nejire.
Nijire. Yeah, she's not down for the count, even though she got burned. She's still going, but like half her.
Oh yeah, God, dude. Well, that's that whole scene, right? As you said, there's so much going on, but the fight's not over on anybody's front. The which leads us to, I guess, the other part of the chapter where I'm just like, oh my
You mean that
lord.
family? Yeah, were you a fan of like you're like you were expecting? I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I wanted something so cool.
I
I was
wanted to.
literally
I'm not
sitting
gonna lie.
there.
I was like, oh, is he gonna like think of something like just like but then I
It
like
was so
but
overhyped too. She's
then
like,
I was
that name was before I was like born, and then it's Great Explosion Murder God. Like, no, man. Like, no.
he's a teenager.
Uh,
But like I'm like, oh Bakugo. Oh man.
right? You just, dude,
I
I was
feel
so
like you, but
disappointed.
man. Why? But I think that speaks to the character so much.
I guess, but again, there's nothing wrong with him embracing the character, but come on, man. Dude, that's to be honest, I didn't even find that funny. I was
Well,
just so sad. I just sat there and thought to myself, really? Like, really, man? Come
well,
on.
I think for
It's
Bakugo, I think for in I don't want to say he knows that name is ridiculous because he's like headstrong about it. So he doesn't care how people think, and that's kind of like you might think it's tacky, you might think it's terrible, or like I'm thinking like, bro, this is kind of funny. But I think he did it. He did basically without knowing. He created joy in like this immense battle, and I think that's kind of reflected on what Lemillion says when he's like, that's a good name. Like heck yeah, like preach it, bro. You know what I mean?
I guess you're right. I guess it lightens the well,
Yeah.
but does it? It shouldn't. But even the villains make comments, so it's interesting that I guess it kind of does. But dude, I'm sorry, it's bad. It's just, dude,
No, it's a bad name.
just be
Yeah,
dynamite. Just be dynamite.
a great explosion. Like I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
sure. Yeah, which oh my god, man. Or
He'll think of something.
great. I'll even take like great dynamite. I don't know, man. Like, just not that. Just anyway. Sorry. Let's
But like,
just.
I think it's also for the reader too, because like I'm pretty sure some people read it like, oh my god, like they read it like cheerful, like really, but like really in a more like cheerful way, or like, and that I guess as the reader, we're like, oh okay, it kind of like I said before, even as readers, it probably gave us like a little bit of like relief and joy while reading this like intense like battle that's been going on with a couple weeks so on. We're like,
Mhm.
man, the hero's gonna go out, win this, but like this is like another like turn around, like okay, like our hopes are like lifting up essentially.
That's fair. Everything's on the up and up. That makes a lot of sense.
Even though like obviously the battle's still continuing, stuff still happened, but like hope is like continuing on.
Well, it's
As
funny
soon as,
though, because I guess that's only kind of for half the battle right now, right? Because
yeah,
as soon as we go to it switches pace and goes over to the Todoroki or the Shoto and Toya interaction, which is kind of interesting. Dobby's literally, trying to explode, basically a suicide tactic to take out and Endeavor's, pet project as he calls it. So
yeah.
it's crazy, man. I don't know. It's that panel where it's just a full like face
Just
shot,
him.
yeah, of Dobby. It's crazy, man.
And it looks like he's slightly like his like own flesh is burning a little bit
Oh
more.
yeah, it literally looks like he's burning up, like in his own flame. It's crazy. Well done. It looks unbelievable. But again, I guess it just speaks to how far this character's fallen, right?
Yeah.
Where this is literally, the epitome of madness. You know, honestly, I almost feel this is kind of like how crazy Shigaraki was before he kind of got his crap together as a villain,
Oh no, I
where
agree.
there's
But here's
no basis to it. It's just pure, it's kind of like Joker level madness,
madness.
right? Where you're just, you just want to watch the world burn. Sorry to quote Michael Caine, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
But continuing on and like yeah, with like his just him going crazy. And I disagree. I think Deko's inclusion were like they're like, oh man, he can still do the black whip. Like, oh, okay. And then we see like just a one panel. We're like, okay, he's for floppy and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, he's using the floppy style like tongue like black whip. Like that's just so still coming out, man. Like still like reign of hope. Where like no matter what, he still pushes on, even though his body's like arms, legs. He's still got something else no matter what.
yeah, yeah. I guess
But I understand your frustration because it's like you guys need to relax and let the other heroes kind of.
do their thing, right? Because it makes everybody. And dude, the Fropey thing, come on, that's like
That's great. Like he's
is
learning.
but hold on, I know that's what it's supposed to be, but is it just coming off of his tongue? Because it's not the same as shooting your tongue. Like it's not even close. Like, dude,
Like
For Fropey, that's a muscle. For
yeah, well,
him,
like,
that's just like
well,
I
how, do,
don't
how
know
does
what that is.
how does the black whip comes out of his like hands? He just kind of like
I don't
come
know,
out.
bro. Yeah,
Exactly.
well, it comes out of like his finger, but that's not the same. That's your arm.
Yeah, there's
So
a lot.
the way,
Well, like,
so you can
there's a
use
lot
your
of
arm's movement. What's he using to influence the movement?
his tongue, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's so. Oh my God. Okay. 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 Ridiculous.
It really is though. But yeah, there's new like slight ability. I'm like, oh, that's yeah. Deku just doesn't go down, man. But
I actually do like Black Whip's ability quite a bit. I think, to be honest, Black Whip and both Float are actually sick, and they really complement the power style.
yeah, really
So
makes
I
more
was
sense
actually,
with the powers.
yeah, it's fantastic. So, and it would be crazy to see, what everybody else's were, right? Because these three, at least, it seems like there's almost been a bit of thoughtfulness to what's been added,
Yeah.
right? Because Black Whip and Float, like those are great together, right? You're just flying through the air, but you're literally Spider-Man, but like on steroids, even
Mm-hmm.
more steroids. So
Well, it's more like falling slowly, so to speak, right?
I swear it's basically your Uravity's thing. You just can't use it. Oh no, he did use it on dude. I'm pretty sure it's like exactly your Uravity's thing.
Mm. Well, yeah, he was learning how to use it. I just assumed because like the word float, you're like kind of just you're like a balloon in the air, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's exactly what he did, right?
Mm.
With all those people too. So I'm pretty sure it's like just your Uravity's, and she can basically fly because you just use your own body, right? You like kind of pull yourself through the air. And as opposed to he can kick himself because he's got all that strength. So it's just
Yeah.
on crazy different levels. So I do really like that as a power. And I also like his supportive endeavor. That was great to see.
Oh, to
He
wake him
knows
up.
he's got to
Like, yeah,
hype up
yeah,
like the
yeah.
number one hero. That was a great
Mhm.
move, man.
Well, like he knows he can't do anything on it, like, and he knows the number one hero cannot fall at this like chaos that's happening right here. No matter even like his son came back from the dead, fucking best genius just losing like all the threads when it comes to this guy. I forgot I always forget his name when we read through the chapters.
Makia, yeah.
Yeah. Here, Gigante, yeah. but
Bro, this is not Monster Hunter World. Get out of here.
um, yeah, and then like just with like I guess I mean somehow Bakugo. Oh, I mean not Bakugo, Deku just helps the heroes. Not even like fit
Remember how to be
the
heroes or like
hero.
what it means to be a hero? Yeah.
Mhm. Like even from the first chapter with like All Might, he goes
Yeah.
in with having a quirk, you know what I mean? And All Might just like rushes in, so very like similar, especially All Might being the number one hero then, and now the number one hero now. So very good parallels, I think. And then you see Endeavor just launching up without like we don't even like the only
Dude,
reaction
that was
shot.
my favorite panel of the entire. I feel I don't know because I was about to say I feel the initial panel that would have been there for the jump prep got cut, but at the same time I was like, wow, because when I flipped the page, I was like, wait, what?
Like
You
he like
know?
came,
Yeah,
boom.
because there's no
Um,
build up, right? You just
yeah.
flip and you're like, wait, how did it never
Well,
get there? And
well,
it
well, like well, it's because we thought like this guy was gonna like break free. Like, oh no, he's getting back up, and then not happening. And then you see Endeavor like just like gassed up because I'm pretty sure that was like basically his last of his flames. We could assume, right? Because he's just been
Oh yeah, he
fighting
was already basically out before.
burned out.
So I
Yeah.
think, just that last little bit of adrenaline, which is crazy. The again, it's just tying into further this idea of, the number one hero.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of push it to the limits, and it's interesting too because at the beginning of this story we're told this is Deku's journey to becoming the number one hero, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting as well because you already mentioned this, right? He makes the number one heroes like remember, you know, I guess the spark for them.
Yeah.
And
To go
we've
beyond.
we've gone back and forth a lot about, how My Hero could end. And seeing this kind of again, it makes me wonder if the whole idea will be to be like, kind of like the Stan Lee idea of being a hero, right? That's really been pushed since his passing, where, it's everybody it's just like doing a little bit whatever you can within your power. And I'm wondering if that's what's going to be like that motion to change society, because we've seen it in such high levels here, and then when he's the number one hero later, and you're going to get sense that type of support from him, it's going to inspire more people, kind of thing. So I think that'll be interesting to see if that's where kind of this part is heading to, and speak to the nature of the number one heroes.
Nah, yeah, I could definitely see in the future where, I mean, he's inspired, like you said, he's inspired the other heroes. So him inspiring the heroes is already like a formulaic way of like he's gonna inspire the world, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
mhm.
And it's just, again, I guess, the nature of the school, right? Because that's kind of how the chapter concludes, is when all hope seems lost, it seems like the tranquilizers are finally kicking in,
Yep.
and the plan
Yep.
done by the rest of the students actually it helped out. Again, just speaking to the
But yeah,
quality going on.
and again, because like this whole like essential like battle like from the start, it's like okay, the heroes they got it together, right? They got they got everyone's here. Washy wash, get in here. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna stop this like organization and stuff like that. And then when they thought they had they thought they had the villains on the back end, but they didn't, because these guys are like they came back full force. So they were kind of caught off guard. So and then constantly like we were losing, like, oh man, heroes aren't doing so hot right now. Oh man, like we just lost Crust, worst hero name ever. We just let's be honest. So like, yo, this girl just lost a leg, or arm. Like, oh, this is like constant, like not like drop for the heroes and for the hero society. We're like everyone's here and we're still messing up. And like now to get that reign of hope constantly throughout these few chapters has been like yes, like we're going up and up. So I wonder how that's going to continue on. Like, because I was like, oh man, like those things are working. Like, because I remember when they put it into his mouth, I'm like, and then next chapter he was still running, and we see these guys like just gone. And so, especially with Red Riot, where like he like
Oh, that was great, where he
that
was
was such a
climbing
great
up the side of
that was
Makia,
such a
and
great scene for him because he interacted with this is the guy Maki. I don't
Makia.
know Makia, yeah, where he interacted with him before he went to the UA without realizing it, right? Because he was so afraid. So this is such like a heroic moment for him to like, without even him realizing, like, okay, I need to do this. But us as readers, like, oh, he's doing it again. But and we just again like, oh, was his efforts like,
In vain, but
yeah,
no. Well, that's why he's front and center, right?
hmm
Literally, the biggest part, well, the second biggest part of the panel is him,
yeah.
essentially. So no, that's great. He's honestly, no, I was gonna say Kaminari, but isn't the lightning guy? Why can't I think of this guy's name right now?
Kamar, is it Kanamari? I think you're right.
Kanamari? Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. That would sound right. Yeah, sorry. So it's great to see him get some time to shine as well, because
Yeah.
there's been inklings, right, with the whole like Red Riot arc and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That was leading up to the overhaul stuff. So
Because he definitely, he has his own journey to go through, where he wants to be braver. He wants to be like his old idol. I forgot who it was. His name is based off of it. I always forget. Is it Scarlet Rider? No, I forgot.
no, it's red.
Red,
Isn't, or is it
Red
crimson?
Crimson? Something like that. Yeah, but he has like very chivalry, and he wants to be like that. But overall, this chapter, ruined itself. I mean, the art. Oh man, he killed it in like the Bakugo panels. Even like in the beginning with like
The
no,
Airy and
Lemillion.
Togata.
Yeah, I got that, and then him with his like fist, covering his face. It's just I don't know, something about it. I just really enjoyed that panel. But even Dobby's face with the fire burning up. He's just oh my god. But like from the art itself, yeah, action standpoint, super great. I personally like the inclusion of Deku and Bakugo. I do understand from your sense, get it like, all right, well, these guys, you're shining away from the other heroes, which I do get because Lemillion just came back. So, but what are
I
your quick
gotcha.
thoughts on it?
Honestly, you kind of covered everything. I'm
Oh,
just,
really?
again, looking forward to always looking forward to next week. There's going
Yeah,
to be a break coming up at the beginning of the new year, so I guess I'm kind of hoping with the release of the chapter on December 13th that maybe we'll finally kind of get the close to this arc, or this part of the arc. I don't even know, because we've been here for quite some time and I've enjoyed it. but it would at the same time it'd be nice to like I guess see the decline as we reach the end of
Oh, well, it's definitely going. I mean, sure, Rocky can't move, still tied up. So
it. It also just makes me wonder. Actually, well, no. You know what? Scrap everything I just said. Something's about to happen. You know why?
why
Because the heroes can't win right now.
they?
Over like freaking overhaul led to the quirk stealing thing, which they were trying to still do to the heroes now, and there's all of like these plots that didn't get touched. Meanwhile, One for All was trying to take over Shigaraki. There's still so much to figure out, man. I don't know. Something's gonna hit the fan. Something's gonna hit the fan.
Well, like we said this before multiple times. After this battle, win or lose. Now that I'm thinking, now that I say that, right? Because now I don't know anymore if they should win. But as a story standpoint, right? Because like if they lose, well, like hot society will be like, yo, what the heck? Like, why do we need heroes? If they win, is like, yo, what the heck? Like, why we need all your heroes? Because you guys that's a lot of damage, So
Yeah, you vacated a town and it still got destroyed, but
yeah, but not
you
even
know
that. Just with Endeavor's Pass,
that's true too. Well, honestly, we'll just kind of have to see the repercussions in the coming
Mhm.
chapters.
But like I said, it's like every chapter's been pretty. I'm waiting for the moment. Where like, this chapter's pretty relaxed. But yeah,
Everything's in a very hype moment at the I'm very wow.
very hype.
Everything's at a very high, like a high point at the
Yeah.
moment.
But it
Be-
is pretty hype too.
It is,
Yeah, because I'll be reading like, oh, that's my reaction.
dude.
Yeah.
That's why we're gonna finish with Jujutsu.